Growing up with a PC is something special because you learn a lot of things like optimization, piracy, and most importantly, to click the right link. I've learned to type by entering cheat codes rather than using whatever this is. The fan spinning might burn your table or bed if you're trying to play the new games on your slow computer. With low specs PC comes great frustration, so I made a list of great games to play if you have a slow PC. Control schemes should be compromised and it's arranged in no particular order. Number 14. Grand Theft Auto 3 is the first 3D GTA game and the third game in the entire series, because Vice City, which is the second game released in 2002, takes place first in the timeline in 1986. Followed by San Andreas, which is the third game released in 2004 in the 3D universe, happens in 1992, making it second in timeline. And finally, GTA 3, which was released in 2001, takes place in 2001, making it third in the timeline, and also because it's the third GTA game ever released. These games defined open world games with a non-linear approach to missions, and freedom in such a way that no game did it before. I highly recommend playing these games with these mods: RE3, SkyGFX, and Clio FPS Adjuster. Number 13. The modern Call of Duty titles had streamlined structure compared to other shooters in this list. It shows the aspects of modern warfare instead of showing these old ass wars that happened ages ago. The missions in this game are French chef's French kiss. Mwah! Every Modern Warfare and Black Ops campaign is worth playing. That is, if your PC can handle it. Speaking of which, it brings us to number 12. Hitman Blood Money. Hitman Blood Money is a story about a scruffy cat assassin called Agent 47, working for the International Contracts Agency. There are many ways you can take out a target, leaving no trace or go guns blazing. Mission designs allow you to change your plan mid-mission. The core idea of this game is to be creative and let your imagination to the test, with controls that you'll slowly get used to after you're a couple of hours in. Number 11. Hotline Miami is a top-down 2D action game with a variety of weapons and abilities, with a lot of killing, shooting, and whatever this is. The game tells an amazing story piece like a puzzle. The soundtrack of this game is freaking amazing. So are the devs, who patched the cracked version of the game because they wanted people to enjoy it even if it was pirated, because they know what it's like to be broke. If that doesn't make you want to play this game, then go number 10. In Need for Speed Most Wanted, you race in the city of Rockport with many cars to customize and choose from. It is well balanced and challenging. The chromed out, sepia toned landscape with a heavy bloom alongside the FMV does capture the vibe of the early 2000s. There's a lot of heat, hot pursuits, and obviously a lot of illegal racing, because EA Sports, it's in the game. You can knock down a cop car, go through a donut, take down a cell phone tower. The goal is to be the most wanted racer in the city of Rockport. Amazing graphics for the time with a bopping soundtrack. Number 9. In Undertale, you fall into a cave that is as deep as the game's lore. You can be and do anything you want. It's a simplified RPG. The concept is comprehensible and it may not look like it, but it pulls your emotional strings most delicately. The music in this game is a fucking masterpiece. If this doesn't make you get up and dance, you're not human. It gets you turned easily and the innovation of the battle system is freaking amazing. I love this shit, man. Number 8. Fallout 3 is the first 3D Fallout game ever. It takes place in a world where the integrated circuits were never invented, so the world stays like the 1950s with a modern flair. It's been 200 years since the bombs have gone off. and you spend all your life in the vault. You are the lone wanderer who grew up in a vault and your dad escaped, so you have to go look for him. With character customization and upgraded abilities, it feels great roaming the wasteland, and every encounter feels different. You have the choice to be what you want. The skills, the statistics. Do you want to be a good guy, bad girl, or anything in between? It's all up to you. The karma system is amazing. It makes you fall in love with these old ass songs, and the DLCs are a cherry on top. Number 7. No, yes. In Mirror's Edge, you play as Fate, who puts all the faith in you to control her. Traversal through the dystopian world with parkour is amazing. A simplistic art style and color palette makes this game feel unique. The feel and flow of this game is awesome. Mirror's Edge doesn't tell a compelling story, but it's a game that you can always go back to. Number 6. My favorite game from this list is this one. You play as a 15-year-old boy, Jimmy Hopkins, who has a notorious name for causing mayhem, trouble, and has been expelled from 7 schools. Your mum is on a vacation and you're stuck in this boarding school. The map slowly unlocks after completion of a chapter, just like in Grand Theft Auto. There are various cliques and classes to attend, and you can interact with anyone like in real life. Everyone has a name. The only unrealistic part about this game is you can kiss any girl in your school. This game was made when developers actually took risks. You can attend classes, you can do errands for people, and you can bully people. Just like in real life. I'm joking. The soundtrack matches whatever you're doing. And please change the action button from R to E. Thank me later. Number 5. Hard Truck Apocalypse. In a post-apocalyptic world, there is a crisis. All the plants have died except trees, and everything depends on the survival of the fittest. You are dependent on your truck for everything. It's up to you to choose how offensive or defensive your truck is. Trading, truck upgrades, modular weapons, towns, factions, and an open world map to boot with the lack of fast travel system. It feels empty and outdated at times, but it's sure worth it. Number 4. Mafia 1. Set in the 1930s, you play as Tommy Angelo. It tells an amazing story ever told in a video game. The remake didn't capture the mojo of the original game because of the restrictions. You felt limited, unlike the original game. You must change your control schemes because it is outdated, and apply a few tweaks before you enjoy switching gears in a vehicle while listening to Django Reinhardt shred. Number 3. Far Cry 1. In the original Far Cry, you're stuck on an island and you do your best to survive and escape. It makes you feel far from home with stunning graphics and layered level design. The AI can be unforgiving if you've played at the highest difficulty. The combat switches the dynamic mid-game with horror elements. This is my favorite Far Cry game ever, followed by Far Cry 3. Fight me. Number 2. Spider-Man. Right before the best Spider-Man was Spider-Man, there was a game that made you feel like Spider-Man. Traversing with numpads is a feeling no game can cover because it makes you feel like Spider-Man while working on your movements and Spidey sense simultaneously. It feels wonky and janky at times, but it's worth playing to see how far Spider-Man games have come. The colourful, comical depiction of Swagger of a teen is done perfectly as he battles buff males with guns. Number 1. IGI 1 and 2. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. Project IGI and IGI 2 Covert Strike are those games where you infiltrate a military installment and shoot whoever's in your way. This game felt tactical with stealth, covert-based surveillance in a story-based first-person shooter with high-powered firefights. There are no checkpoints. In the sequel, you can only save 3 times in a mission, and that's it. It's difficult and frustrating according to today's standards, but it's sure as heck worth playing. Honorable mention: Sleeping Dogs, not the definitive edition. You play as an undercover cop, Wei Shen Chang, in Hong Kong, where you're fighting with crime and against it at the same time. The story is well written with amazing performance, parkour, intuitive combat system, a banger soundtrack, and you can go on a date with Emma Stone. What else do you need? When you're fighting someone, the guy goes, "Gang bang bono." That's the reason why the Hong Kong immersion is immaculate in this game. It's worth playing, but you might want to lower the graphic settings before playing in a sufficient frame rate and resolution. If you can't afford a PC, then get a console. It's cheaper and you get to play a lot of games. Buying games individually might cost a lot, so go for the subscription that lets you play a ton of games for a reasonable price. So you're telling me you don't have time to play story-based games? Then look no further. There are always Miniclip and Flash games. The Flash player is dead, but you can always use alternatives or just download them. Alongside Flash games, emulation comes to mind when running low-spec PC games. You can play games from any of these consoles. The control schemes might sound daunting if you don't have a controller, but there are some community-made tools that allow you to play those games with a mouse and a keyboard. PC controls are heaven sent. I've been playing on my console for a year now, and I still feel the same way with mouse and keyboard. If there are any games that you want me to play, including Half-Life 2, please let me know in the comment section down below.